It requires 8% of the population on the planet to assemble the fifth DNA strand and be able to hold fifth dimensional frequencies in their body in order for Earth to be able to merge properly with Terra during this time cycle. We're not quite up to that yet, but we're close. So one of the things they're asking us to do is learn about our DNA, learn how to use the higher chakras to bring high frequency energy into the DNA, which helps it assemble. Because the higher you can get your DNA in your body and your consciousness vibrating, you're plugged right into the Earth grid. It will make the Earth grid vibrate faster. There's strength in numbers. The more of us that can do this, the faster the Earth grid will vibrate. So it's one of the things they're asking us to do. If the majority of humans totally ignore this grand opportunity we're being presented with, there are two worst case scenarios. One is we do start to enter the morphogenetic wave period, and the grids are so far out of balance that it starts to make seals on the Earth's vortexes loosen, which will cause volcanic activity and it will cause plate shifting. And it could be on a massive level. If it's really out of balance, it could create up to a 45-degree shift of the angle of the Earth spinning on its axis, which we're history if that happens. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. It's not that bad yet. But they want us to be aware of how bad it could be. They want us to be aware that they're not joking. They're not saying, oh gee, come be spiritual because it's fun. They're saying, hello, you're in trouble if you don't pay attention. And how many of us is it going to take to get you to pay attention? You know, so one of the neat things that happens if things go right is that during the 5-year period when the wave is cresting, the fifth strand of DNA will manifest spontaneously within the bioenergetic field of every person on the planet. Now right now, we have people with all sorts of different gene codes on the planet. Some have fourth DNA strand assembled, but some only have 2. Now, when you look and you say, hey, I have 2 DNA strands, you know, we see that under a microscope. The other 2 are in your double. Most of us have 4 strands here. And the strands are not that easily divided up. We're okay, once I have my 12-strand package, I'm going to see 12 little strands or 6 double helixes. They're all encoded through each other. But basically, the human being was designed to have 12 strands of DNA. And when we do have that fully activated, we are immortal. And we live in harmonic universe too. And we're composed of less dense particles. So when down here, what we are really trying to do, and unknowingly, for millions of years down here, we've been evolving, not knowing what that meant. What does it mean to evolve? We're here. We're here, we try to survive. That's about it. That's all as far as we've got in understanding what evolution is about. What evolution is really about is, just like with a planet evolves by pulling frequency into its morphogenetic field from the unified field of the dimensions that it's in. That's exactly how we evolve too. That's how DNA strands evolve. We can use the higher chakras to repair damage that was done to our genetic code in order to get it functioning properly again. Because at several times within the last 1,000,000 years, our species has been altered several times. It's had certain codes, base tones or overtones, unplugged within certain DNA strands, which literally stopped the evolutionary process, so we could not ascend. We have to fix that. And the Guardians are giving us enough information where we can start to understand how to do that. They're planning to give us exercises on how to use the higher chakras, Keylontic exercises, to start repairing the DNA strands so we can take control of our own ascension process. Because even if 20 people, only 20, were able to make it through the portals whole, where they didn't have to die to do it, they could walk through, that is such a victory for this race. Because this race forgot eons ago that this was even possible. So we're hoping that a lot more people get to go through the portals. All right. If they don't, there's going to be one thing you probably will see if the plan is going the way it's supposed to. If the natural morphogenetic wave is happening as it's supposed to, you will see certain areas having certain earth changes and large groups of people being killed. It will appear to be tragic from out here, These are arranged. The souls involved knew they couldn't assemble their DNA fast enough. They wanted to get out of here and catch that morphogenetic wave before the portals closed, because they can ascend from D4 while the portals are open. And you go to D4 after you leave the physical body in D3. So if in the next 20 years we start to see more and more groups of people dying, don't let it scare you. Don't let it frighten you. Know there's a higher purpose to it. And know those people want to get free. And this was their chance. So there are things that you may see out here that will make no sense unless you understand some of the things that are happening behind the scenes. It requires 8%